Hello there, Romans here and welcome to another music review. I review every album from a viewpoint of a musician, as I'm a singer, songwriter and a bass player for my own group Jakobe, and in April we have released our debut album called Pursuits in Life. What makes the album unique is that it's a pretty heavy prog rock without guitars. Instead you have drums, bass, saxophone and keyboards. You can check out the first single, We're Building Our Own Monument, on my YouTube channel, and in the description of that video you will find all the information about where is the record available, like Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, so all the digital platforms, but also in this digipack version with a very beautifully illustrated 20 pages long booklet. So in case you like buying CDs, and we all know that we buy them because of the booklets, I think you're gonna like it. And today I'm going to review the new album from The Slash featuring Myles Kennedy and The Conspirators, Living the Dream.
Music review. Music review.
Slash doesn't need any introduction. Pretty much everybody knows him as a guitar player from one of the biggest rock groups of all times, Guns N' Roses. But since he left Guns N' Roses, he's been involved with quite a few projects like Slash Snakepit in the second half of the 90s, which I have listened to back at high school but I'm not that familiar with anymore. I will have to revisit that. And also Velvet Revolver, which was a really great group, and their debut album Contraband was one of those records that I actually grew up with, and I've heard it countless times, and I'm still a huge fan because I think it's one of the best modern rock records. And since 2010 he went solo. His first solo record was more like a collaborative kind of thing where almost every song had a different singer, and since his second solo album he pretty much formed constant lineup with Myles Kennedy behind the mic, who is known mainly from Alter Bridge, and he's arguably one of the best rock singers ever, not just of the day. And he also has a great rhythm section in the form of The Conspirators. So I have listened to the previous solo records from Slash. I'm not gonna say that I was necessarily blown away by those records or that I'm a huge fan, but I think it's a very solid rock music, and I think the Slash was responsible for some of the biggest classic rock and roll hits of the 21st century, like You're a Lie, World on Fire or Bad Rain. All these songs are really great and amazing. With his solo record, Slash is one of the few artists with enough relevance to carry the flag of classic rock and rock and roll. And I got pretty excited when a new album from this lineup was announced, and as I'm a huge fan of Myles Kennedy as well, especially from a singing point of view because I just love his voice, I couldn't help myself but listen to this record. I've heard it 6 times as of now, so let's dive right into the review. I would classify the record as an old school rock and roll with a little bit of classic rock lens, and it seems like a digital version of late 60s, early 70s rock and roll music. It's especially those backing vocals, and there's plenty of them on the whole record, that give this kind of a atmosphere and feeling, almost like nostalgia in a way. And the first 2 tracks on the album pretty much reflect that, songs like The Call of the Wild and Serve You Right. The third track, My Antidote, is a song that I really like, that combination at the beginning when you have that heavy guitar riffing and almost like a psychedelic late 60s vocal part, and then it explodes into a guitar riff that reminded me of the song You Could Be Mine from Guns N' Roses. The fourth track, Mind Your Manners, is more of an up-tempo rock and roll track in the style of AC/DC. The first change comes with the fifth track called Lost Inside a Girl, which is a more mellow bluesy song, and it's got an interesting melody. It's a pretty memorable track and it has a great guitar solo, and I also like the lyrics. This song is essentially about stalking at social media, and yeah, it's cool. Read Between the Lines is like a rock and roll song made in a grunge way. You have a slightly more silent, almost like a mysterious verses, and I just love the guitar sounds in them. And then you've got very explosive, loud, in-your-face rock chorus. Slow Grind is a rock and roll song with a bluesy vibe, and then another change comes with the following track called The One You Loved Is Gone, which is a bluesy ballad with country overtones. It has that heard it before kind of melody, but it's those passionate and honest performances that make me enjoy the song, even though you know how it will progress and how it ends and stuff like that. Driving Rain is very similar to other tracks on the record, and at this point I kind of realized that it's pretty difficult to differentiate between the tracks because the songs are so similar. The melodies are not distinctive enough, so most of the songs kind of blend together. I had similar problem with the record Last Look at Eden from Europe, where most of the tracks fell under that category of 70s retro rock, and they were just kind of samey in a way. And Sugarcane is a little heavier as a rock tune. It's one of the more memorable tracks. Then The Great Pretender is another bluesy song that has a very distinctive minor melody. And there is some resemblance with the song Don't Cry from Guns N' Roses. The last track on the album, Boulevard of Broken Hearts, is more serious in tone than the rest of the record, and it's actually one of the best songs on the album. It's got a great guitar work. It sounds slightly more up to date. There are some guitar parts that reminded me of the song Stage from Avenged Sevenfold, and maybe I wished more songs were written in this way. So to sum up, I think that this is exactly a record that fans of Slash would expect from him, but I can't help but feel that this is a decent rock album, but just another rock album among like hundreds or thousands. And if it didn't have Slash and Myles Kennedy and The Conspirators label written all over it, I don't think many people would take notice. What I kind of miss on this record are those hits like You're a Lie or World on Fire. There isn't really that one song. I don't mean to disrespect the musicians. As I said, Myles Kennedy is, for me, a singer kind of similar to Michael Kiske, that it's just so enjoyable to listen to his voice. And Slash, of course, Slash is a great guitar player. Even the rhythm section is very tight. The bass player has some serious pipes, and I really love it when he is heard in the backing vocals. I don't think it would be too bad of an idea to let him sing the whole song, because he's actually an amazing singer. So I respect these musicians a lot, but I mean, this record is, maybe it's just me having heard way too many rock records, but you know, when I ask myself, is this a record I would like to get back to, like in a couple of months or in a couple of years? And the answer is not really. You know, when it comes to his previous solo records, I will definitely revisit them every now and then, but when it comes to this album, maybe the only reason why I would want to get back to it is how much I admire Myles Kennedy and his vocal style, but that's kind of it. Living the Dream in Slovak means žiť ten sen, or žiť sen, or the first two translations I used. If you have heard a new album, you can let me know in the comment section below. How do you like it? How well do you think it compares to Slash's previous works? And if you like this review, don't forget to like. And you can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find the links to both in the description of this video below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out my own original music, my Worst to Best series, or some other music reviews. Thanks a lot for watching.